Howdy, Laoshi Lawrence McElroy here for Water Tiger School, Taiji Chuan. Uh, we're a little late, sorry. Last week got away from us for a few different reasons. World Tai Chi Day was one of them, but I'm not in the driver's seat anymore, so I can't really use that as an entire excuse. But I can share that there's balance in the universe, and how I know this is that at the event on Saturday, now planned, organized, and hosted by a committee of 3 instead of just me, I got this plaque. It's a nice plaque. It's very nice. It's getting too crowded back there, so I'm not going to put it against the wall. I think I'll hang it in my office. In recognition of 25 years of dedicated service, presented to Laoshi Lawrence McElroy. With deep appreciation for your unwavering commitment and outstanding contributions to the spirit of Tai Chi and Qigong, your dedication towards taking this extraordinary healing exercise system successfully out into our global community has been so uplifting, and we thank you. We will always remember the hard work and the example you set every day. So I got this really nice plaque. I got a cake on Saturday. And on Monday, I had a tooth extraction. So there's balance in the universe. That was what I was dealing with the couple of days before World Tai Chi Day, why we didn't get this shot last week. But we are in the Qigong portion. You probably realize that because I'm wearing a World Tai Chi Day t-shirt. This is the 2007 t-shirt. This is only the second time I've worn it. First time was in September of 21 for one of the 5 Animal Frolics videos, Deer Cooking. So that's on the Tai Chi and Qigong training playlist, as well as the 5 Animal Frolics playlist, just FYI. So we're back to Badhua Jin, 8 pieces of brocade, for one last time. We've done 7 of the 8. So today will be number 8. We'll talk about which one as we get toward that part of the video. But we'll start, as we have been, with a piece of Shibashi from the first set, or Shibashi, as I like to point out. Some people pronounce it. That's a series of sets, 8 of them, apparently, were created by Lin Haosheng between 1979 and 1990, I want to say. Yes. Generally speaking, people do them because, 1, they're fun. 2, they're kind of easy to do. And 3, they're all nice for just overall health and well-being. You feel good after you do them, that sort of thing. But each of the separate pieces do have their own sort of list of health benefits. And we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. I don't think so. I think we'll be back on our schedule now after this week. But I've said that before. So we'll see. I know I have a weird thing coming up in June, so that might throw things off kilter a little bit. So anyway, we'll see. There, I finished my mint. So we're going to do the 6th exercise in the first set of Shibashi. Shibashi. Whatever. That's not good. Top of the video. I'm already tripping over my tongue. I have to remember not to slap myself in the face because I did that the other day and had to stifle a scream because there's a hole in the side. For us, it's rowing the boat. For some, it's row the boat. That actually seems to be sort of the general title, although some people tack on to, rowing the boat to the center of the peaceful lake. A lot of people do these movements differently, as I pointed out, and they have different names. There are versions of row the boat that, one, each time you do it, you get into a deeper and deeper squat. That's a version. There's a version where it starts higher, and then that's sort of like the primary version, if you will. And then there's an advanced version where it's lower and bigger. So there are 2 parts to it. We're kind of middle of the road. We like to, add a squat to our upper body movement in the lower body, but not too deep of a squat. So we're kind of middle of the road in that. And as I said, they have health benefits. And as I am wont to do, I'm just going to read them. There are only 2. It's one of the shorter lists of health benefits. Helps the digestive system and increases mental clarity. Guess I could use that today. Promotes smooth blood circulation and good respiration, and extends the qi in the forward movements of the arms. As always, we put the breath in connection with the movement. It's going to be an exhale as we do the little squat and inhale, and we sort of have this undulation. And this undulation, you have a couple of choices with the arms. You can go up over the top, which is ideal. They still keep the shoulders dropped. But for some people, you might have a shoulder impingement, right? That might be ow, ow, and that's not good. So you're rowing the boat, might go more out to the side or be more elbow centric. So you have some choices there. I don't know how many we're going to do. Probably won't even count reps. I thought I tied these. Sorry for the show. Let me turn around. Thanks for prepping me, guys. I'm going to take out my socks too as I get through today. I had this checklist of things to do before we started shooting. Obviously, I did not look at it. So feet about shoulder wide. Settle in. No expectation. Whatever happens is a pleasant surprise. Calm my breath for a moment. Get into the breath. I'm going to roll back. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Now, to me, this is a very weird way to row a boat. I'll turn sideways for sightline. Give you the profile shot. But I do have a kayaker in my studio program. He said, well, if you're in a kayak and you lose your paddle, this would more than likely be the way you would row your kayak back to the shore. Again, maybe an inhalation. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. And an exhale. Whenever you're pumping your legs like this, of course, Western wise, you're activating the lungs and the heart. Better oxygenation of the blood. Better movement of the blood through the body. Breathing deeply. Slowing the breath down. Slowing the movement down. Whenever you do anything forward foldy, you're also activating kidney energy in the Shen Yu, in the essence door, in the low back. The rock also rolls the weight back and forth between the heels and the balls of the feet, so kidney 1's getting a massage in both feet. I don't know. I'm thinking about 4 more times around. Maybe more. We'll see. A lot to cover today. Well, no more than usual, but we're going to be in low stances throughout, so yippee! One more time. I'm going to come up. I'm not going to go down. Float the hands. As always, I'll tell you that Shibashi, first set at least, because I haven't played with any of the others yet, has its own way of ending the set. We'll just do our standard water tiger school closing. Crown point of the head, base of the pelvic bowl. To the ball of the right foot. Tap that one because that's my right leg. Up, out, away from the body, settles the alignment structure. The weight through that right leg into the earth. In. Brings the foot in, ideally not with that pause. And press down. Ah, no knee pop. We'll rebound. And there's your warm-up, rowing the boat in the first set of Shibashi. So that brings us to our primary focus for the video. And that's completing, as I mentioned, our run at the 8 piece of Brocade and kind of Strength and Diversity series. The 5th piece. So not quite in the middle of the set, but it's there. For us, it's swing the head and sway the tail. I'm going to probably just read the names for you. Then there is turn head, strengthen core. Bending over, wagging the tail to calm heart fire. Swing the head and sway the tail to eliminate heart fire. Expel fire from the heart and relieve stress. Gotta love sort of esoteric and with instructions in the title. And the last one that we have in our little short list of various names for the 8 pieces of Brocade, Big Bear turns from side to side. And of course, some people just call it, hey, it's the 5th piece of Brocade or the 5th Brocade. So you have that too. To us, it really is about the heart fire, Shan Wu, I think, or Shan Wei, Shan Hua, that's it. And the movement, the heart fire relates to the Zhang Dan Xian. That's the area of our body where we sort of first absorb qi into our bodies from the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the liquids that we drink, etc. And it can get imbalanced. It cannot burn freely and clearly and that sort of thing for different reasons, because of what you've taken in, but also things like mood, interactions with others, that sort of thing. Now, the heart is considered an organ of fire. The lungs are considered organs of metal. Now, while we know that fire can melt metal, metal can also demean or weaken fire. So we use the lungs to govern the heart fire. So it's sort of, for us anyway, not everybody quite treats it as a bellows, but sort of working the lungs as a bellows. Now, when we do expand the chest to cleanse the body in our 10-piece Taiji Qigong breathing set, we talk about a very subtle bellows. This not so subtle. So we'll start with ours, or our version, swing the head and sway the tail. We're beyond shoulder width, toes, depending upon, toes and knees. I want the toes and the knees to go the same direction, so I'm a little bit more open in the quad, so my knees are going to point the same direction as my toes. Ideally, I'm setting down deep enough that my thighs are close to parallel-ish, and my hands are right at my knees. And ideally, my fingers are on the inside of my thighs, my thumbs on the outside. And I want to seal here. I don't want to be where my fingers can fit underneath the palm of my hand. I want to seal. So for some, one, it might be too low. Two, you get down here and you don't have the wrist flexibility. So you have to come up a little bit. You can also be down here, and maybe the first adjustment is actually bringing the thumbs to the inside. See what I did? Thumbs to the outside, thumbs to the inside. I can get higher, thumbs to the outside, thumbs to the inside. I can be anywhere as long as I get to right where the hip fold is, the upper hip fold, not the quad. But I want to feel, as I shift from side to side, that I'm pressing not into the leg, but into the foot. That really compresses the lung on that side as the other side opens up. And I want to feel here with that seal that I'm pressing down at the angle of that foot. So that's ours. Breathe when you have to. We'll probably do 3 pairs. So I'm going to start with an inhalation in the center. I'm going to exhale. I'm not turning here. I'm shifting the weight toward the left foot, pressing down into that left foot with the left hand as if the leg isn't there. And then maybe an inhale in through the center, and an exhale to the other side, and an inhale. Notice my back is straight. I'm not rounding the spine. And my eyes, I'm looking at you guys. Well, I'm looking at the camera and the monitor. But my eyes should be just angled down and governed by the angle of my torso. 2 and 2. 3. And 3. And I'm going to come back to the center. Now, even though we just did 6 movements, 3 pair, we haven't been here this long. If you're in the same position I am, that might be kind of tweaky on the wrists. So very slowly release them and then float the wrists. And you can shuffle or step the feet to your shoulder width, where the drop of the shoulder is. Split the heel on that side in half, where the drop of this shoulder is. Split that heel in half. I'm going to do our standard closing. Up, out, away from the body, settling the weight through that right foot. In, that time without a pause. And down. And a little rebound. And there's number 1. Number 2 has swing the head. No, not swing. That's mine. Sorry. Turn head to strengthen core. So it's a little bit more subtle. It's actually the second version of the standing 8 piece of brocade that we do at Water Tiger School. We have that version, which is a little bit more intense. And then we have a slightly softer version, the softer side of Sears. I'm still going to be wide. I'm not going to sink down quite as far. And my hands, thumbs are on the inside and a little bit higher on the thighs. Again, I'll just do 3 pairs here. We'll keep it at 3 pairs, except for the last one, which is actually longer than these, but only 1 repetition per side. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start with an inhalation. I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to turn more than shift to this side. And then inhale in through the center, and then exhale. So I'm going to have that same feeling like I'm pressing down into my foot. Inhale. I still feel a little bit of the pump that I did in ours. But I'm really seeking to twist the Sangio. So I'm working the abdominals, the lats, the intercostal muscles. And I lost my count, but I think that's the 3rd time to the second side, but we'll do 1 more pair. And then I'm going to come back to center. And come up. And float the hands, and this time I'll bring the left leg in. And then close. Oh, just realized, checking my cue cards, that I forgot to do something that I normally do. So a little late on this. Usually do it before we do our version. But we use from Marshall UFA what we consider the poetry, or we refer to as the original instructions. People translate it differently, of course. This is ours. And sort of like the health benefits for the Shibashi, I always read these. So I don't have them committed to memory. There, I didn't slap myself in the right side of my face. Sway the head and swing the tail. That's the first line. Guess where we got our name. To eliminate heart fire. So sway the head and swing the tail to eliminate heart fire. When the heart fire is strong, the metal lung can subdue. Hands press the knees, sway and swing. Blood flows smoothly. Countless benefits. If muscles and tendons are cramped, legs ache, and the body numb, repeatedly extend in lightness and press in heaviness. Do not hesitate. I'm so sorry about the tardy. Not going to go back and reshoot that. So that was 2. Now we're on to 3. Bending over and wagging the tail to calm the heart fire. So I'm going to start right. So I'm going to step out right. I'm going to be wide and my feet are going to be splayed. And I'm going to set the hands just on the thighs. I'm not doing the fingers in. I'm not doing the fingers out. Just kind of on the thighs. And I'm going to go and get a little bit lower here. I'm going to go and turn to the right first and go down. This is the exhalation. And then inhale, up, and then exhale. Note again a twist in the torso. And I'm not really not really shifting the weight from side to side. I'm just coming through the center and then up to the side and down and across. I don't think I did that the first couple of times. So you have that separation. So I'm not swinging and sweeping down to the center. I'm down to the leg, across, back pretty much parallel to the floor if you can. Get to the other leg and come up. I started at the right. So it means I'll come back to the right to finish. But we're going to do one more pair. Exhale in through the center. Inhale up. One more time to the right. And up. And to the center. And step the right foot in. But I'm still going to close the left foot to right. And that should have a very subtle kind of pour chi through the back way as a cleansing movement before you're done. And there's 3. I'm going to get a drink. Brings us to number 4. A little ice cube. Sway the head and shake the tail to expel fire from the heart and relieve stress. This one's got a lot going on. So I'm going to start left this time. I'm going to step out left into my wider stance. Center a little bit maybe. I'm going to start cross in front, palms up to the heavens, and then down. And once again, not really pressing in. My hands are just resting on my thighs. I'm going to go over to the left. And when I come up to the right, I'm going to turn my torso forward. This is swinging the head. I'm going to rise up a little bit. And this is shaking the tail. And then I'm going to rise up. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to come up. I'm going to rise up. Sink down. Now this might be a 2-breath pattern. An inhale and exhale. Again, that turn, that rise up, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, sinking back down. Exhale, twisting, looking forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, inhale, sinking down. Twisting. That's the swinging of the head. Rising up. Exhale, sinking down. Up. Last time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Notice palms up this time. Pour chi after that beginning, which was sort of expanding the chest to cleanse the body. My feet are a little close together. I'm still going to settle the weight into the right. Bring in the left foot. And down. And we'll rebound. And that was 4. See, 4. I'm doing that because a lot of times I do 4 and it's this. So, this one doesn't have a name. So I'm assuming lineage probably just calls it the 5th piece of brocade. It involves some footwork changes. It's sort of interesting. But, catching my breath here. It's not easy. Staying in a deep position time and time again. Especially, I think even the last time I shot, we put one out there. It followed the evening before doing time expanded breathing sets, taking that 10-piece Taiji Qigong breathing set that's kind of ubiquitous in things Water Tiger School, and stretching out time. Normally we do it at the end of class in like the last 4 or 5 minutes. Last night in the Qigong class, it was 49 minutes and 40 seconds long. So my legs are kind of taxed today already. So yay! Well, we're shooting this on a Friday, and Friday is leg day. So I'm going to start. I'm going to open up. I'm going to sink down. And I'm going to go over the left. And notice what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the right heel back. So that foot's more like at a 45. And I'm going to come up and twist. And it's almost like I'm in a side lunge here. And then come down through the center. Bring those toes forward. Kick out the left foot, the left heel, by rotating on the ball of the foot. And here I am at the right side. And then down. As I come through the center, feet back to the starting position. And that right heel kicks out again. And I'm up. And then down through the center. Put that foot back at its starting position. Kick the left heel out. As I come up. And then sink down. Go to the left and right one more time. And I've got as much twist as I can in the torso. Looking to the left. Now I'm going to get as much twist as I can. Looking to the right. I'm going to come back to the center. Bring the foot in. And rise up. And sink down. Little wave, little wiggle. And then I'm going to close. And that's 5. You see? Oh, look, I'm in a box. Tony Horton does that better than I do. All right. So this is Big Bear, turns from side to side. There are holds, I will warn you. there is a twist. I will warn you. And the same sort of foot move that we just did is repeated in this one. But kind of the theme, if you've noticed, for all but the first two, the two that we do, is that transition in the center where the back and torso is pretty much parallel to the earth, which I find two things, interesting and challenging. Interesting sometimes I use in a negative way, but this is interesting in a good way. So, oops, don't start wide. Again, don't do that. Not today, anyway. So, oddly, I'm going to step out to the left, but my first movement will be to the right. So I'm going to settle the weight into the right. I'm going to cross my arms. I'm going to step out, get myself centered a little bit. Let's do that again. I'm going to start over here so I'm off center. Settle my weight into my right. Step up. Reach up. There's my hold here. And then down. I'm going to turn to the right. I'm going to go down. Breathe when you have to here. Slow movement. So you may be breathing more often than just through the movement. And when I come up, I'm going to come up, twist, arc my back, and look up and over that left shoulder. So my eyes are kind of up to the ceiling, where the ceiling and the wall meet. And I have a little arc in my spine. And I'm holding this, seeking to sink down a little bit, for 15 to 25 seconds. Not really counting. So I'm probably close to 15 now. And slowly come down, moving through the center. Turn that heel out, which I don't think I instructed on the other side. Come up. And again, the twist in the torso. I'm looking up and back that way. Sink down a little bit here. Still there. I'm going to sink down. Come to the center. Come up. Reach up. Sink down. Come down. Wrists rotate. Fingertips in. And rise up. Think about the chest. Bring that left foot in. Go down. Drawing earth energy one last time. And go down. This time my fingertips are going to turn forward. I'm going to find my right leg. This little weight, alignment, structure and balance through that right leg. Float in the left. Press the heel down. And we'll rebound. Brings the hands to the acupuncture points for the Shiadantian. And there you go. That was 6. I need an Epsom salt bath for my legs. So, as always, hope you found that interesting. You can tell I was working a little bit today. Those deep squats will do it. That was, what, about 30 minutes of squatting. So I think I got my leg workout in between the dry run this morning and this. So the 5th piece, for us, swing the head and sway the tail. For others, different things. Dealing with the heart fire, the chinois, and it completes the 8 piece of brocade. So we're going to do 2 things. I mentioned at the beginning about deer kicking and living on 2 different playlists. One is just the Taiji and Qigong training playlist, and the other is a playlist that is the entire family of 5 animal frolics that we did from, almost the beginning, at the beginning of the pandemic 5 years ago until, I think we didn't finish until sometime last year. I think we did the last one. I would guess probably it was 24. It might have been 23 when we finished the animal frolics. But we'll do the same thing with the 8 piece of brocade. All these videos will live on 2 playlists. The one where they have all been, which is Tai Chi and Qigong training. And we'll create, as we upload this later, we'll create a second playlist that is just the 8 piece of brocade. We'll see if we can't get them placed in order, because we just kind of did this. Literally, sorry, it's my bad. It was like, which piece of brocade do I want to do this time out? So not quite sure where our focus will go in our Qigong. We have 1 or 2 ideas for the first couple of videos after this series. This series has been fun. Maybe we'll do it with another aspect of Qigong, but probably not, because we don't have that many well-recognized sets, shall we say, in our family of Qigong at Water Tiger School. So we'll see. And anyway, the next video should be Tai Chi oriented, hopefully in 3 weeks. We'll see about that too. And I guess that's it. So as always, thank you for your time and attention. I hope you found this interesting. It was a little glitchy today. I apologize. Not really focused. So another slap of the hand for Laoshi. Not in the face. Not yet, anyway. I could do that side, and that doesn't hurt quite as bad. This one, not good. Not at this point. Still healing. It'll be a while. So I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it interesting. As interesting as we have putting them together and just experiencing all these different points of view and recognizing, the wide variety and feeling the work with the different approaches and how they impact certain things differently. I always find that rewarding, actually. So as always, we asked YouTube to let us preview the comments, not because we want to, weed out any negative comments, because we'll take, constructive criticism without an issue. I'm not going to let the flaming stand if that happens. But basically, we do the preview because otherwise junk messages come up, sending you, putting links out there to, shall we call them dating sites? That sort of thing. And we also post a link to this on our Facebook page once it's uploaded. So that's a little bit more free range on Facebook, especially these days. But sort of the same thing. If you flame us, you're not going to have access to the page for very long. So thanks. Appreciate your time and attention. And you'll catch us the next time, hopefully on schedule. I can't make any promises.